You gotta love Fridays around here. You never know who's going to roll in. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who single-handedly resurrected the male prostitution industry.
Thank you.
Rob Schneider, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
God somebody finally gave me credit for it. I think there's a Showtime show called Gigolo or something like that. That's okay. It just sounds like a disgusting thing.
I was just, I think last weekend was on one of the cable channels. I just come home and there it was.
Still
Male
plays that
Gigolo.
movie. Yeah.
And it still plays well too. What a great movie.
It was a fun movie. Thank you. You never know what the heck's gonna, catch on, but that was one of them that did.
Hey, well, thanks for coming.
The man
in.
whore, the
Busy
he-bitch
guy.
man whore.
The man whore. And I just
Yeah.
picturing, I forget who the pimp was that played the pimp and
Eddie
kept
Griffin.
dropping his food. Yeah, kept dropping the food in the hot tub.
Yeah, that was fun.
Funny stuff.
I kept eating it, which was
Well,
fun.
welcome to town, Rob Schneider.
Thank you. Nice to be here in Dayton.
Well, you know.
Warm out. My goodness.
I was going to say welcome to little Seattle because we've had so much rain, but now it's like little Miami.
I know. I heard you guys had a lot of. I thought you guys were going to be, a new business for creating jobs here. Arc testing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rain you guys have had, but it's beautiful today.
Oh, it is. Yeah, there's some rain coming. Congratulations, by the way. I know you live in L.A. Congratulations on getting the space shuttle.
Yeah, we're so proud. We're so proud. We get the shuttle after it's useless. It's not like it can fly anymore.
And actually, the one of the head pilot, I think that's I guess taking off next week is from the Dayton area. So there's a lot of.
What's his name?
I forget the pilot.
Okay. I'm sure he appreciates that recognition.
All right, so let me get this right. You come in here, you're walking around, you're getting texts from Adam Sandler, and maybe feeling a little.
Yeah, Adam just texted me because I just got back from China.
That's what I hear.
And he said the text was. Let me see, it's right here.
How about that?
So I said, so sick of fried rice for breakfast, and he said, Chinese hemorrhoids with duck sauce.
Oh man! So I'm thinking, here's a comedian who lives on the West Coast, and it's going to be hard enough to, come to the Midwest where you got a 3-hour difference. But I guess congratulations are in order. You just got back from a honeymoon.
I just got back from my honeymoon, yeah. And right, Patricia, that's her name. She's from Mexico. I think that's how you pronounce it. Patricia, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, she's Mexican. We just got married, and I'm looking forward to get my Mexican passport soon.
No kidding.
So I can travel down there whenever I want.
So you just get married and then you're back out on the road and celebrating your honeymoon in Dayton,
I gotta pay for the honeymoon. So, no, but I enjoy performing. I haven't really done it, and I did it about 20-something years ago, and I stopped doing it.
Right.
To make movies. And then, but I started. I did a movie with Chris Rock and Adam Sandler, the Grown Ups movie, a couple summers ago, and we had a ball doing that, and just Chris Rock talked me into doing it again. He's the one.
Is there any truth to that? There's that stuff they put in the pool that turns blue when you pee?
Well, I hope so. But that was a disgusting thing. Adam's, he's got the perfect 14-year-old sensibility still. He's never lost that.
Oh, the whole Happy Madison thing, and I don't want to delve too much into Adam Sandler and all that, but you guys are like the comedy rat pack these days. It's amazing.
We had a good time. We've done a lot of movies together. It's been fun. Somebody said we'd worked on 17. That's a tremendous amount. That's enough. I'm done.
Yeah, and I know you're taking a break from that right now. It amazes me, though, that you can watch these movies, and they're all funny. And even some of the solo movies you've done, like the Gigolo movies and stuff like that, there's these little phrases that come out of all of them. I mean, you had...
you never know what's going to catch on. It's funny, but like...
You can do it. I'm telling you.
You can do it. I didn't even know what the heck he was talking about when we did that. So it's just one line. What is it? You can do it. I said, what does it mean? It doesn't matter. Just fly out here. So you can do it. So you never know what catches on. But then he did it in a couple of my movies and whatever. And I think we stopped doing it. No more.
But it's become... I mean, you got Belushi with, like, Food Fight, Chris Farley, maybe with Holy Shnikes, Steve Carell with That's What She Said.
I love the one with Will Ferrell.
You can do it.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I think that's the best.
It's come down to being legendary. Rob Schneider is in the studio. He's going to be at the Funny Boone. The Funny Boone
this weekend.
And we appreciate you coming to take the time out. I mean, we get a lot of folks in here, but I mean, it's Rob friggin' Schneider right here across.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What kind of music do you play on this station?
Rock and roll.
Oh yeah, the old stuff, good stuff.
Yeah. Anything you
70s, 80s.
Yeah. 90s.
How about something from Elvis Costello? Every day I write the song? Can you pull that one up?
We could probably pull that off.
Could you?
Put it out for you.
That would blow me away if you could do that.
Why not?
Yeah, come on.
Saying here. All right, let's do that. Let's take a quick break. Coming back with Rob Schneider here on TUE.
That's a good song.
Working on a Friday, BMan with you, Rob Schneider.
You can do it. BMan.
I love this guy.
Doing it.
The thing about Rob Schneider is
Yes, sir.
you're every man's man.
Thank you. I'd like to be every slightly less than the average guy. That's what that's how I make my living. If I had to tell, that's how, honey, that's how Daddy makes a living. No, but it's just like, I want people to see my movies and go, well, my life's not that good, but look at that guy. He's a real idiot. And that's, you know, I kind of got that, you know, early on, just, you know, watching movies as a kid, you know, Jerry Lewis and other things like that, and Richard Pryor, and, you know, those are the kind of things that I saw. Even like, you know, the old, you know, Charlie Chaplin movies and stuff like that. You see a guy who's, you know, got real problems and finds a way to just survive anyway. And it's funny. So
people can relate to that.
Yeah, people like to see me suffer. That's how I make a living.
Glad it's him, not me.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's, you know, it's just, you know, people feel comfortable laughing, you know. Stand-up is interesting because stand-up is, you can talk about stuff and, you know, people don't know what they're going to expect when they come see me. And I can talk about what's happening in America, not too, you know, go too political about stuff, but you can talk about what people are thinking about. And that's interesting. You know, you can talk about, like, you know, there's some a joke I wrote this morning just about, like, McDonald's, because McDonald's is spending $1 billion to upgrade their facilities to make them more hip and more like Starbucks, you know. And I said, if you want to upgrade your facilities, first thing you got to do is get rid of all your customers. That's your problem. I don't care how nice the facilities are. If you're bringing people in with long shorts and sleeveless T-shirts, you know, with their guts hanging out, that's an issue.
Well, I'll tell you, those dollar burgers and fries are big in the Midwest. I don't know about what you guys eat out there in California.
No, I know it's big, but I have a problem with it, though, because the problem is, like, you know, the 2 out of 3 Americans is overweight at this point. Yeah. You know, and these health problems. Forget about the 40% of our discretionary spending on the military. Right. It's our medical bills that'll bankrupt us. We got to get healthy. We got to get skinny in America. Got to get people walking. Get them stop watching the internet.
We get them come by here and run up down those stairs.
Yeah, the stairs. I mean, I've gotten in good shape just on the stairs.
I know, right?
I've still got a good burn off of that. The 3 stories here.
Well, you've done so many movies, and again, we don't have to delve into all those. You can go to robschneider.com, of course, and everybody knows all the movies you've been in. But what made you want to get into this whole comedy thing back when you were
my dad
little?
had comedy albums. That's a good question. My dad had comedy albums. He didn't really have, like, music albums, and so I grew up with, like, you know, those Pete Barbuti and Nichols and May and Woody Allen and Bob Newhart, Button Down Bob. Right. And, you know, by the time Cheech and Chong came around in the late 60s, early 70s, I was hooked. And then George Carlin, you know, Richard Pryor, and then by the time Steve Martin came around in, like, mid-70s, I was, like, starting to write jokes. Right. And it was just fun, you know. I was the youngest of, like, 5 kids, so, like, the only way to get any attention was if you said something funny. So I learned early on that was a good place for me to go. And it was fun. I loved it. You know, at the end of the day, you got to do what you love, and it's been fun. If there's any reason I'm still doing it, you know, 25 years later, I think if I had to have a reason, I'm still enjoying myself. Yeah. Like, even doing stand-up. I mean, it's a real challenge because, you know, you get one shot at it. Right. And the audience, I don't care how famous you are, if you're Jerry Seinfeld or, you know, Richard Pryor or whoever you are, when you're on stage, you got to make them laugh. And they're only going to give you so many seconds to, like, you know, okay, buddy. You know, you got to prove it each joke, which is great. I like that challenge. And I'd imagine the first times you did it, you was probably scared crapless. Well, when I was younger, nobody knew who the heck I was. Just trying to get people's attention while you're doing it. It was like you have to, you know, eat it for a couple of years, really, and then. But it went well enough where I realized, you know, I think I could do this. But you have to kind of figure it out. Deal with the docs of the world too. Yeah, and then you got to. Then the next thing you know, you're performing. But most of the clubs that I'd worked when I first started out, most of those guys were pretty darn nice. Yeah. A few of them I would never come back to. There's a lot of great comedy clubs. You know, well, clubs are coming back, and I think it's good because you know, with the tight economy and stuff, it's still a pretty good deal, and it's also you want to hear what other people are laughing about. Right. You know, and it's still a pretty exciting thing to be in a room with somebody, and that there's just like a feel in the room. It's almost like jazz. Rob freaking Schneider right here across from me. Yeah, it's fun, and I've had a good time. I will say I won't be doing it for that much longer. I've done it for a year and a half, and it is a lot of burnout.
Yeah.
Especially flying, you just got back from China. But
wow, that's got to mess you up.
yeah, that's about a 20. I can't even think of it. I don't even know what time it
You
is.
just got married and he's in
I don't even know what day it is. But I will say, but I do enjoy doing it. I'm going to film it as a movie.
Okay.
So some of the stuff that I do here, I'm going to make it for a comedy movie.
And you just had a disc come out as well, right?
Yeah, I've a registered offender.
Okay.
Good luck finding it. We just released it ourselves, and it's out there somewhere.
Okay.
You can get it on Amazon or whatever. But it's not from my stand-up. It's just a bunch of sketches that I did all the voices on it. It took me about 4 years to finish it.
Gotcha.
So it's at the point where I don't need things to make money. I just do them just for fun.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a label really to do with. But the stand-up I'm happy with, and I hope people come out and have a good time. Bring your cameras or your Deuce Bigelow things. I'll sign your copies, whatever you want to do.
Would you call it socially mature kind of comedy?
A little bit. Socially immature.
It all seems like it would be harder being, people would come and go, that's Rob Schneider.
Yeah, well, they don't know what to expect. They just, that's the kind of the good thing is people want to come out and see what it is. And they'll see, when I talk about what's happening, and, I have some fun with it. But I'm interested to see, in Ohio particularly, because, in this area is taking some hits with unemployment. And so there is the one thing that I notice with is that there's this undercurrent of kind of, in the last couple of years, of anger. And it's like, I think it's dissipating, which I think is good for the country. But when people are angry, it's good for comedy because it's like people have some issues that you kind of dig in and make them laugh at their own situations, which I think is it's great because it should be satirical and it should be relevant, and it should be about what's happening to people. And that's what's interesting about stand-up is you're able to really talk about that, and that's what I'm interested to hear people's reactions tonight.
And when they do laugh, that's got to be satisfying. When you're doing a movie and you do,
Yeah, I mean,
you can't do it. It's like, all right,
yes.
let's do another take, and then it's put into a movie.
Well,
It's
I mean,
not
I got
really
a
comedy.
little tired of it, waiting like a year and a half for a movie to come out and you forget what the jokes are. I mean, I got a little tired of it. I mean, it takes so long to finish something. I mean, we had too much time on that last movie that we did. We did. On Grown Ups, it was just like, it took 4 months to make it. You're away from home, living in a trailer, eating off styrofoam plates for 4 months. And it's like, this is enough. I love it, and I'm happy and it was a fun movie, and I had a good time with those guys. But it's like 4 months is too long.
So it's
I
fun
think
to
you
be
can do
on
it in
the
a
road.
month and a half. I think that's good. And stand-up has been interesting. And I just want to do stuff that's fun. I don't have to do it unless it's fun.
Okay.
So,
What's your? We'll kind of wrap things up here. What's your biggest biggest regret? I think. Or your
that's a good one. That's a good question.
I mean, there's got to be something there.
But I
A pet
didn't do
peeve or something that's really
Bad
ticked
Santa.
you
I
off.
should have done Bad Santa back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have done that. That was a good movie. It's just I couldn't get over how rough the material was.
Yeah.
But maybe I should have done Old School. But I don't really have any regrets. I mean, I just...
It's been a lot of fun, right?
It has been. And I'm interested in doing different things. Like I did a drama called The Chosen One.
Right.
Which I'm trying to get, to get out there more in the world. That movie.
Movie or TV?
It's a movie that I made with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Which is a little bit more serious. It's not.
It's a drama. Yeah, it's nice. But I like to do more things that I like, and not have to worry about like what the box office or what I have to do. And so that's good. And I'm going to be doing a TV show this year. But as far as
I heard there was a pilot for that.
yeah, I did the pilot, so we'll see if it gets picked up today or Monday.
Okay.
I'll find out what my future is, and then I'm going to continue to do stand up. I'm going to do a European tour with the stand up act that I'm doing now.
When are you going to host Saturday Night Live, man?
I don't know. I spent 5 years. That's enough. I don't even know those people anymore. I don't even stay up that late.
Man, I got to tell you, those years you were there with all those.
We had a great.
Folks,
All I remember, we had a great cast. Adam
Yeah.
Sandler, Chris Rock, David Spade, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey,
God.
Mike Myers, Adam Sandler. We had a good group. But all I remember the whole time I was there was people saying, "You guys aren't as good as the first group," and I went, "Yeah, of course we're not." Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, those guys were the best. Bill Murray. But we had a good group, and we've done pretty well. And but it is. I think about 5 years is all you can take.
Yeah, no
The
doubt.
100-hour work weeks, and
That's
it just
a
kills
lot
you.
of work.
But it was a great place to be. Great place to spend your 20s.
All right. Rob Schneider in the. I was gonna say Chris Rock. Rob Schneider in the studio with us. Let's take a real quick serious side here too. You're a supporter of a lot of several charities, including one big one that is relatable, I think, does with the music.
Well, the Rob Schneider Music Foundation. We've done. In California, one of the biggest industries is entertainment, but we're 50th in providing funds for music for kids.
Yeah.
So we raise our own money to provide teachers in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that's been a been a great thing for the family, and to keep me kind of tied to that community. But we don't do it for any publicity or anything. We just do it because it's good for the community, and it gives some. Kids love music, and the kids who actually play music, it's been proven that they do better in school, and that just you think because it's an emotional. It's like emotional math music. And there's mathematics to it. There's some beauty to it because if you hear a song, it's not just one note. You have to mix it up. It's and then it's not just one chorus. There's also a bridge.
Yeah.
And then there's a melody. Then there's a harmony. And so there's just really things you can teach kids about music that can give them a kind of an idea that can open up their minds in another way.
Right.
And there's also like everybody there's an emotional attachment to music.
Right.
And the same thing with food, and the same thing with music. If you love it, if you had a good meal somewhere,
right,
and then you smell something, or you taste it, I remember the time we were in that town, remember that night we went home and made love till 6 in the morning, or whatever. There's something to that. And
music's a universal language.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like I think comedy too. If you can't laugh at the situations in the world, then you've got a problem. You have to be able, even bad ones, that people can make fun of, whether you're talking about Bin Laden or something. It's
with the music and comedy.
Yeah.
You can ask somebody, "Are you a good cook?" And people go, "No." I said, "Are you a good musician?" They go, "No." But I said, "Do you have a good sense of humor?" They go, "Yeah." Because everybody thinks they got a good sense of humor, but not everybody could have a good sense. Not everyone has the best. And so
everybody did, it'd be a better world.
It becomes about taste at the end of the day and all these things. And so you either have good taste or bad taste. And the idea is sometimes you want to have bad taste of something. Sometimes you want to have a hamburger. Sometimes you want to have a beautiful pasta. Sometimes you want to have, But and so it's just a variety of stuff. And music, you can teach these ideas to kids.
Right.
And you can get through to them in a way that they can relate to, because they all listen to music, they all like music. But if you can get to them and to let them realize maybe they'll appreciate math because there's math in music, and because there's different levels of it, and then so it's just a way to get kids to open up their minds, to get them interested and excited about stuff.
No doubt.
And so without that, you don't have it. And so it's stuff. Ohio, has been one of the states that has been pretty darn good about music.
Yeah.
But California, we haven't as far as funding programs. And I hope that with the different crunch that they have here in Ohio with with underfunded counties and cities, is that they'll continue to fund what's most important,
Right.
which is schools, roads, police.
To work on them politicians around here.
It is tough, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I was, in China. In China that you can't, if you're a state worker, you can't go on strike or you'll be jailed or fined. Wait a minute, that's Ohio. Look, you guys passed that. That sounds like something in China or totalitarian system. I can't believe people in Ohio let that measure get passed in the legislature here. I mean, that is totalitarian. That's against workers' rights. And the idea is, even if you're broke, you still have to you can't take away workers' rights to negotiate. I mean, that's pretty basic. So I was very disappointed in the Ohio legislature to allow that to happen. And people need to stand up and protect their rights here in Ohio. Because they have to. What's happening in Wisconsin you can't attack teachers. And they're dividing to conquer, which is basically they're taking away the rights for teachers and other workers, state workers, to have rights to negotiate. And at the same time, they're not taking the rights away from police and firemen who've traditionally voted for the Republican bloc in the last 3 elections. So it's it's a catch-22. And at the end of the day, it's like, people are always, we don't want to pay more, but at this point, let's not take away money from like they're trying to do with Medicare. Let's not take away programs. People are going to need them. I mean, frankly, you've had a lot of lost jobs here. Well, the last thing you need to do is take away money from people who are going to need that. That's why I'm for extending unemployment for people who need it. It's not, if they want to take away money, let's take away money from rich corporations. Instead of, everybody's talking about, socialism. We have corporate socialism here in America. We're still giving money to the grain, corn industry, to the dairy industry, and to the oil industry, who have, been incredible. They make $34 billion profit a year. That's about $14 billion plus a quarter they've been making, and yet they're still getting tax dollars. So instead of taking away money from Medicare and people who need it, and Ohio is a very important state. That's why one of the interesting reasons why, why I wanted to come here. Because, it's going to be important in the next election, how Ohio decides to go. Ohio, Pennsylvania, it's more than Florida. That's one that's going to decide the election. And I hope that they'll make the right decisions that, does this benefit people? And that's the key to it. And so I'm interested to talk to people and see what they think here, because I don't live here. But, like I said, it's an important state.
Well said. Well, I appreciate you sharing your insight, man. You're a funny guy and a smart guy, and you're welcome in Ohio anytime.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate
Schneider
it.
with us. Funny Bone, 2 shows tonight, 7:30, 10. Is that right, Doc? And tomorrow as well.
7:30, 10. There's still some tickets available for the 10 o'clock shows and some for Sunday.
Okay, and there is some for Sunday. Call 429-LA.
You can do it.
You
Come
can
on down.
do it. Rob Schneider, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you.